Okay, so I'm making this video and I'm saying this as a person who's a Nugu expert who finds joy and happiness in promoting the Nuguest of Nugu artists, the artists that barely have any views, and I like finding these songs. And I call myself a Nugu expert because I try to share the most Nuguest of Nugu songs regardless of language nowadays. Either it be because I got recommended the song on my YouTube or I found it through research or stuff like that, or looking at different websites. So I say this as someone who actually tries to bring the Nuguest of Nugu artists to you guys in my videos, even if my videos don't do super well and don't get as much engagement. I say this as someone who, like that. So I just wanted to say that we don't really need Nugu Promoter. Nugu Promoter is quite popular on Twitter for promoting Nugu artists or promoting all these sorts of, groups and soloists and stuff. But I this is not an honest opinion. I say this as a fact. We do not need Nugu Promoter, and that's a fact. Why we don't need Nugu Promoter? Because I've noticed with the artists they promote, like for example, take Hani. She debuted in 2025. Her spelling is Hanhee, and she debuted with the song, I think it's called BBI. I don't know because the song name is in Korean. And take another artist named The Deep. Now, Nugu promoted these two artists because I saw in both these artists' comment section of people saying that I came here because of Nugu Promoter, came here because of Nugu Promoter. And even though that's great that Nugu Promoter promotes these sort of artists that are actually Nugu, I don't feel like Nugu Promoter needs to promote these artists, and I don't think we need Nugu Promoter anymore because of this. Because if you Google The Deep and write K-pop next to the name, or even if you Google Hani, Hanhe, and write K-pop after her name, you will get so many wikis of these artists from K-poping, K-profiles, K-pop wiki, etc. that you can easily find these artists if you search them up. So a lot of the artists that Nugu Promoter promotes on their social media are artists that have a profile to them, whether it be on K-poping, whether it be on K-pop wiki, whether it be on K-profiles, or they are mentioned somewhere on on any one of these wiki websites, profile websites that give a rundown on what this artist is, I mean, who this artist is, and stuff like that. So I don't really think we need Nugu Promoter when we can ourselves just find these artists by going through these websites. Like K Profiles has boy group, girl group, and co-ed group sections in an A to Z format. On the top of their website, they have all these different, like, separate organized things that if you like hover over them, you can find boy groups, girl groups, and co-ed group lists for disbanding and promoting groups separately in an A to Z format. You can look at K profiles as like debut, comeback, and singles list for each month. You can go on K-poping and K-pop wiki and look at the debut list that they have. You can go on K-pop official or whatever the website is called and look at their intensive or extensive, whatever the word is, for the different songs that are releasing within the month. K-pop official or K-pop, whatever the website is called, does an even larger list than, per se, if you were to look at K profiles is comebacks or comebacks, debuts, and singles list for each month. K-pop official's website is really long, and I tried to look through that, but it's so long that I cannot look through it, but it's really well done and well researched for all the songs releasing within a certain month of the year. So many of these websites exist. You can look through them and find artists that you don't really need Nugu Promoter to show you these artists, when you can easily find these artists on K-poping, K-pop official, K-pop wiki, K-profiles, and K-pop related websites like these. Nugu Promoter promotes artists that are already easily findable by just Googling them and getting them on one of these websites because their profiles exist. Nugu Promoter doesn't really try to promote the least Nugu artists, where these artists are so obscure, so Nugu, so unknown that they don't have wikis to them, that you cannot find them easily on YouTube, that maybe you can find them on Spotify or certain websites. If you Google, if you like, search them up properly, or maybe you can only find them using their Korean name or searching up certain names for them and stuff like that. Like, for example, K-pop live idol groups. That's what they call. So every time I try to find a debut song for a K-pop live idol group, it's so hard to find because you will find wikis of these K-pop live idol groups on K-profiles and stuff, but it will tell you that this group debuted at a live show. So they will not tell you the debut song because K-pop live idol groups, their main focus is performing on live stages and at live performance venues and stuff like that. So you will not find their songs easily unless there is a video uploaded online to YouTube. And obviously there are many videos uploaded online to YouTube of the K-pop live idol group, but you have to search it up in a certain way. Maybe you have to search it up with the Korean name of the group, or you have to search it up with certain, like, words and phrases and stuff to find them. So it's similar to that what I'm talking about. Nugu Promoter basically promotes artists that you can easily find up just by searching them easily, even with their English name or whatnot or whatever. And if you have a name, their song name or whatever, you can find them up on Google and stuff like that. That's the type of artist that Nugu Promoter promotes, which you can easily just look up even without Nugu Promoter's help. You don't even need Nugu Promoter. I used to find Nugu Promoter interesting and Nugu Promoter something really cool and stuff because I started to go down a rabbit hole of Nugu groups and Nugu artists and stuff. But the more that I started to, like, do my own research on Nugus and, make more Nugu videos and try to find Nugu artists myself, I realized I don't even need Nugu Promoter because I find even more Nugu artists than what Nugu Promoter promotes. And I also do it for boy groups and quad groups and bands and whatnot, since Nugu Promoter mainly focuses on female artists as per what I see. And while I think that Nugu Promoter is great for people who want to, dive into Nugudom and look at Nugu artists, you're basically just going to dive at the top of the iceberg for Nugu groups. The Nugu groups and the Nugu artists and the Nugu soloists that are not even like Nugu at all, because one of my friends told me that Nugu Promoter promotes groups that are not even Nugu. They are not even like artists who are Nugu. Sure, these groups and artists are not popular, but they are not Nugu, so they are in between. They fall under, excuse me, I just burped. They fall under unpopular categories, which is B and C lister artists, B and C lister groups. And so that also is another thing about Nugu Promoter. But the main thing that I just say that Nugu Promoter is not needed is that you are getting Nugu artists for a lot, for whatever amount of artists that Nugu Promoter promotes, but you are just getting the top of the iceberg artists. As I said many times in this audio, that these artists are just artists that you can easily find even without Nugu Promoter. So basically from Nugu Promoter you're just getting the name of the artist, and then when you search up the artist you will easily find everything about them. So what is the point of even having Nugu Promoter in the first place, when Nugu Promoter just feels like some sort of website where you can just search up the artist name and you get all the information about them. So what separates Nugu Promoter from, if you were to just look up artists on K-profiles or K-pop wiki or K-popping or K-pop official and stuff like that, Nugu Promoter is not needed. And I say that honestly, because Nugu Promoter is not even an actual Nugu Promoter that promotes the most obscure Nugu and super unknown artists that don't have wikis on them, that don't have anything on them. Nugu Promoter promotes mostly artists that, yes, a lot of them, or however the amount of Nugu, however the amount of number, whatever, the artists that Nugu Promoter promotes are, yes, Nugu, but they are not super obscure Nugu. So the whole point of Nugu Promoter should have been the fact that they should promote extremely Nugu artists and not like artists that people can even find without them. So you don't really need Nugu Promoter. Nugu Promoter is just irrelevant at this point.